It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Spotify.
Oh, such a clutch pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom, too. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
The GOAT!
Save up to 50% with minimum purchase at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
El futuro tiene nada más que la confrontación.
Hey, welcome to You Don't Even Like This Show. I'm your host, Adam Todd Brown. I used to host a podcast called Unpopular Opinion, and that podcast was this podcast. But then everyone else in the world decided they liked the name Unpopular Opinion a lot too, so we changed the name to You Don't Even Like This Show. Each week, me and a couple of guests selected from a pool of the absolute sharpest minds the LA entertainment scene has to offer use this here space to talk about whatever the hell we want. News, pop culture, politics, information, you name it, we talk about it. And sometimes my co-host Jeff May is here too. It's a blast. You're gonna love it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to You Don't Even Like This Show, a podcast about Jeff being a damn mockingbird.
It's probably good that the show is ending, because I don't think you had a lot of space left not a lot of juice in the lemon there.
I
squeeze.
You're being a mockingjay. Hey, everybody. I'm your host, Adam Todd Brown. Jeff's here. My other favorite co-host of all, besides no co-host.
Cheers. I will take a happy silver medal to the concept of a void.
Hell yeah. This is our 100th episode, part 1. We did that with Unpopular Opinion too.
I'm doing that with Jeff Has Cool Friends right now.
See, it's a trend. We've been saying this podcast coming to an end. We're really just doing the same thing HBO has been doing over the past couple of years, just furiously rebranding.
Canceling all of our shows for tax write-offs.
Well, that too. Yeah. But, it's just sort of a rebrand back to the Monday show.
Let us welcome to the Monday show.
We should have just gone back to that in the first place, but it's fine.
Hey, we're here now.
This is going to be at least a 2-parter. I know we're going to do a clip show as part of our 100th episode. Maybe we'll do like 15 or 20.
Yeah,
that would be very funny if our 100th
like a
episode.
year's worth of 100th episodes.
Yeah.
That
would actually be pretty fucking funny. So maybe that, but we're doing a Q&A episode today. That means questions and answers.
Well,
did you know that?
We'll answer what we feel like answering first and foremost, everybody. Let it be known. You have no power over us.
Jeff, did you know that Q&A means questions and answers?
I know what QAnon means. It means I don't get invited to Thanksgiving anymore.
I remember Harlan Williams was hosting some late night talk show. He was sitting in for the host. I don't remember who. And he had a guest who was on the television show ER. And just jokingly, when she comes out, his first question, he goes right off the bat, ER, what's it mean? And Jeff, she didn't know. He had to be like, it means emergency room. You're on a show that takes place in an emergency room. It means ER. Emergency.
What are you doing, lady?
That fucking guy. Is he still cool? I don't know.
I don't know. He seems like he'd be innocuous. Like, even if he had like problematic views, they wouldn't be like detrimentally problematic views.
Yeah.
He'd be like one of those guys that's just like, whole milk's better. And you're like, all right, well, whatever.
Not going to argue too hard.
Yeah, like I'm not, he's like, he'd be a guy that's like really against vegetarians.
Yeah.
You're like, what? That's your fight? I guess of all the weird fights to have, that's probably the least problematic.
Yeah. Like that, if you like Pina Colada's song, where the guy's like, if you're not into yoga, who the fuck, why would you be mad that a woman is into yoga of all fucking things?
I mean, back then, that was probably considered witchcraft.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose. That was what, 70s? Late 70s, I think?
Yeah. Well, that song's about two cheaters meeting each other and realizing that they were cheating on each other.
Yes.
With each other.
Yes.
Which is absolutely brilliant song concept.
People had only been jogging for like 7 years at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. If Anchorman has anything to tell me about the 70s, and that's where I get most of my information.
But it, like, the jogging craze did start in the 70s.
Yeah. When was Jack LaLanne doing it,
I think wasn't it Jim Fix? And then he eventually died of a heart attack while running, I do believe.
He died doing what he loved.
Yeah.
Having a heart attack.
All right.
Eating 3 slices of sausage pizza while he was running.
Should we get into these damn questions? People.
No, I mean, we could just hang out.
We could. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're hanging out tomorrow. I'm going to see you tomorrow, Jeff, as we record this.
You saw me last Friday, Adam, probably, maybe.
Yeah. Last Friday, we went to a PSA event.
A grand opening of Burbank Sports Cards event where PSA happens to be.
Yeah. Well, it's also their first retail location.
Yeah, but the big thing is that it's the grand opening of the new Burbank Sports Cards location. They've actually closed the other one.
Yeah. Very exciting.
That thing is, and they put it right across from another card shop.
Oh, that sucks.
If the people at that other card shop weren't kind of assholes every time I went into, I'd feel more bad.
Yeah. Well, good. Fuck them, man.
It's right across from Porto's. Do you want to wait in an overrated line for overrated food?
Porto's line moves very fast, and the food is actually pretty good.
It's fine.
But
it's fine.
The line moves faster than you think. Don't be intimidated. They got about 18 people working behind those counters. All right. Fucking questions. Flower Nymph, real name, says, what loophole did you exploit to your own benefit?
Oh, I used to be really good at that. I used to do that all the time.
Give me an example.
When I was an Uber driver, when we had guaranteed surge pricing, I would take my girlfriend to a dead area where we were still guaranteed 3 times the rate. So she'd pay regular price, and then I would make 3 times because it was a guaranteed surge time. And I'd have her order an Uber driver until it was me, and then we would drive to San Diego.
Oh.
So it would cost her like $110, and I would make, when all was said and done, like $270.
Yeah.
We just use that money to have a day.
That's a nice hustle.
That was nice. I remember we used to, I remember when I worked in retail, when they would give you like your discount and they'd be like, is that for you? And then I just like, Foot Locker or something. And I'd be like, I collect. I'm a sneaker collector. So it's for me. And they were like, they can't argue that.
Yeah.
They didn't say that I had to buy them to wear. So I would just rob Foot Locker.
This is sort of Uber related. The first job I ever had running a comedy website was for a website that was owned by one of the original founders and investors of Uber. He still works there, I do believe. And he told me at one point, I don't remember what the metric was, but it was tied to page views. And if I hit a certain amount of page views, he would give me a certain amount of money for every page view above that. And at the time, I had gotten really good at Dig. You remember Dig? You would like submit content to it and people could upvote it or downvote it.
Oh, yeah.
And then if it blew up and hit the front page of Dig, that was like the version of going viral back in the day. Mm-hmm. And you could game that algorithm to where most of the stuff you submitted would pop off on Dig. So after he told me about this page view thing and this bonus I got, I was watching the Miss USA pageant. And one of the things he would have me do is like photo galleries of women. Cause it was like he was trying to be like a Maxim sort of site.
He wanted to be the Chive.
Yeah, something like that. And so I had the idea that when it got to the finals, I was just going to hastily put together a slideshow of the last 2 women, and whoever won, I was just going to fucking put it up immediately and submit it to Dig. And I did that, and that motherfucker had to pay me $3,500 in bonus money because he did it by page view. So each time a person clicked on one of the pictures, that was another page view. So for everyone who logged on, I was getting like 50, 60 page views minimum. And he wasn't happy, but like, don't put that rule in place, dude.
Yeah, he can't still be in business, right?
I mean, he's one of the founders of Uber. He's doing all right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that specific
website, I don't think so. No.
Because that seems like a way to lose a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't think he kept that rule in place much longer. I ended up leaving and going to work for Playboy not long after that, though.
Yeah.
All right.
I like a loophole. I like finding a loophole.
I love a loophole. Back in the day, also, Bose used to have this thing where you could buy like a Bose stereo just with your debit card, and they would just like charge a small amount every month, but there was like no credit check or anything. I obviously had terrible credit if I was running a scheme like this. So every couple months, I would sometimes just buy like a $500 or $600 Bose thing and immediately sell it to get the money, and then just like pay it back each month on my debit card because there was also no interest.
It's like floating checks.
Yeah, it was a loan essentially from Bose. They closed that loophole.
An interesting loophole was there were a couple actually that were less scrupulous. One was in the advent of the debit card. Credit card machines outside of movie theaters were a thing. So like late 90s. And my brother had a debit card, but all the machines were wired only for credit. So he would go and he would buy movie tickets and never pay for them because the money wouldn't come out of the account. It would go out searching for the credit card account, and there wasn't one. So we literally went to the movies in my end of high school, like, 98, 99, 2000 or whatever. Like we went to the movies so much. It became currency. My brother would be like, oh, I got, 10 tickets to a movie that's next week. If you want money, you can just go return the tickets or whatever. It was crazy. Then, that was an interesting loophole for sure.
I love a loophole. They're great.
Yeah. I had another one, but I forgot it. That's the curse of my brain. There was another good loophole that I remembered and then immediately lost.
Good job. All right. You agent says, in your line of work, what is the most satisfying thing you accomplished? Doesn't have to be big, like an award or anything. Just something where you feel like, hell yeah, I'm good at this. For me, it's research. We just did an episode of Conspiracy, the show, that is about a name tied to the RFK assassination that I feel like has not really been tied to the RFK assassination before. And it was just because I read the fucking RFK files and found it. I'm good at research. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Go read my Ace of Base article.
I'm really good at interviewing.
Yes, you are.
That it's not and also like I guess I'm good at like, would it be like nerd punditry? Is that, that talking head kind of shit where it's like, like, did you know? I don't know.
Yeah. The Dan. If you could go back and update any article you've ever written, which would it be? Not because it was bad or anything, more because the topic of the article / the world has since changed. I don't know. I wrote a thing defending Nancy Grace once, and she's a fucking war criminal who should go to hell.
I probably should have asked more for the articles that I did write for that comedy website, that comic book website that died.
Oh yeah,
those were good articles.
I bet.
I think I put them up on my Patreon at some point.
Niccolo Blight, what's your favorite and least favorite sports movie of all time? Ooh.
Favorite of all time sports movie. That's a rotating.
Yeah, that's tough.
That is a rotating cast of characters.
Yeah.
And if you've ever listened to any of our old like list casts about it, like we've had to break it down into categories.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know, Warrior might be it. If you want to consider that a sports movie, that's a unbelievable movie.
Cinderella Man.
Cinderella Man's good. Major League, if you're looking for something a little more lighthearted, is a fucking incredible, nearly perfect comedy.
I'll tell you one of my least favorite, and this might be controversial for people, but I think Field of Dreams is some stupid bullshit. That is a movie about a family experiencing shared psychosis.
Field of Dreams is definitely one of those like ethereal movies that shouldn't have existed, but boy, they got Kevin Costner at the right time.
Yeah.
His hair is immaculate in that movie, though.
It sure is.
Yeah, Field of Dreams I just find very boring. Although every time if I hear somebody say baseball in a certain way, I immediately just start going baseball. You know, like that big long thing that James Earl Jones does at the end. Yeah. I'll say what I think the most underrated sports movie of all time is probably The Greatest Game Ever Played, starring Shia LaBeouf, who I'm no longer apologizing for.
I don't know if I've seen that.
It's a golf movie.
Oh,
That takes place around the turn of the century. It is incredible.
huh.
It's like really, and it's like a Disney live action movie from like, you know, the 2000 aughts or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's really, really good. My least favorite, geez, I don't know. I never really liked The Program.
Yeah, I don't even remember
That college football one.
Yeah.
I never, all the kids on my football team were like obsessed with it. And I was like, I don't get it.
I didn't like Friday Night Lights, the movie. I liked the TV show, but the movie, I hated the ending. Oh, I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I love the TV show, Friday Night Lights. It was great.
Yeah. I never watched the TV show, but I did see the movie in the theater.
I think I saw it in theaters too.
Yeah.
All right. Joe Man 20XX. If you weren't locked into LA because that's where all the work is, where would you prefer to live? For one thing, LA is not where all the work is anymore.
Buddy, you're asking me the question I've been asking myself.
Yeah, exactly.
If I had a correct answer for that, I might be there. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure I ever want to be back in the snow.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But all the other places that aren't LA where that's unavoidable are like Louisiana,
Yeah.
Florida, Arizona, New Mexico. And it's like, I'm good.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would consider like Washington State. Like Seattle's very nice, but
Sure.
I'm certainly not going to save money moving to Seattle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'd have to go to like,
Tacoma. It's like, who the fuck am I? Kurt Cobain? I'm not trying to kill myself. Jesus. Or get killed by my wife.
I always thought my wife. There's always something like I always had this dumb fantasy of just like disappearing to the US Virgin Islands. That's how much I don't want to have a passport.
Yeah.
Stuff like, where can I go? The US Virgin Islands. Can I disappear there?
If I was going to move anywhere without considering the snow, it would probably be Minneapolis. But even then, the legal weed situation needs to get a little more firm. I would also maybe do Indianapolis because, for one, my kid lives there. So that's a natural choice. But also, they have these apartments that are built into an old baseball stadium. So your view outside your balcony is just a fucking baseball field that I think is still like used.
I was going to say, not like a bunch of like feral dogs fucking.
Yeah. Looks like the Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah.
It's probably way nicer. But yeah, Minneapolis probably if I was going to go anywhere and not regard the snow. But see, I work at home, so it's easy. My wife does not work at home and also was raised in Southern California. So I don't want her having to drive in the snow.
Yeah. The snow is just no thanks.
Yeah.
Snow thanks.
I don't get it.
It's like no thanks, but
with
with the word snow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you learn these things. Yeah. Yeah. It's such a good question because my answer is like, I don't fucking know, man. Sounds great.
And here's the thing. I don't hate Los Angeles as a place to live. The city isn't the problem.
Yeah, San Diego. It's San Diego. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. San Diego would be cool. Maybe that.
Orange County.
Anaheim.
Huntington Beach.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there is.
No. Santa Ana.
San Clemente. My ass kicked by a 20-year-old Marine who's got something to prove about his red hat.
The Pajama Rye. What hobby or skill would you most like to pick up, but just haven't yet? You know, I've always wanted to learn how to play chess, and I just never have.
Oh, that seems like you're about to get comments from Dre offering to help you, by the way.
Oh.
Check the comments. It's probably being typed as I'm saying this right now. Music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a tin ear. I mean, well, the real answer of hobby or skill would be the skill of removing executive dysfunction and allowing myself to process stuff differently, more smoothly. That would be great, but that's not, you have to like do tricks for that.
Yeah.
So piano. I will say, here's a trick. If you do suffer from executive dysfunction, because I've been really looking into it, or procrastination, if it's just simply that, is the countdown method. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I have not.
So if you have something to do, just think about what you have to do and then silently count backwards from 5 to yourself. And once you hit 1, you will automatically get up and start doing it.
Nice.
It's surprisingly effective. It's to the point now where I'm like, God, this really fucking works as I'm getting up.
That's great. Yeah, I would try. So when you say music, you mean like playing instruments, right?
Yes. Anything. Like I have no musical qualities whatsoever.
Yeah, I played guitar for a bunch of years and then just stopped. And I wish I didn't stop. Because if I hadn't, I would have been playing guitar for like 20 years by now. And I bet I'd fucking shred that thing because I was all right. But it's like, I'm not going to start a band. And I was trying to get into writing comedy, but also working a full-time job. So something had to go. And it was playing guitar.
Yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, it's one of those things where I wish I could understand music the way other people do. Like, I wish that I could understand melody, and like all my friends, like a lot of my hometown friends are like big music people. So when I'd be hanging out with them and they'd be like saying all this stuff and I would just be like, yeah, I like music. Like they'd be talking about like all this creation, like, a band I like. And they're like, this isn't, what are you doing?
Yeah. I feel like in a lot of cases, most people are like movie people or music people. I feel like I'm more music people and less, because I feel the same way a lot of times when people are talking about movies, especially like someone will throw a movie quote at me. And it's like, man, I saw that movie once in 2003. I didn't memorize the dialogue. Like I can't watch movies repeatedly for some reason. It just like once I've seen it once, I'm good. And I think that keeps me from being able to talk about movies the way a lot of people do. But music, all day. Talk about that shit forever.
Yeah, like a lot of their conversations would be about like the creation of music.
Yeah.
Like they would talk about bands and stuff like that. And I'd be like, oh yeah, but like I could kind of navigate through that. But when they started really talking about like pedals and amps and, chords and all these things. And I'd just be like, chords, strings, brings melodies, G-funk. Yeah. Where rhythm is life.
And life is rhythm.
Yeah.
Crazy.
This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injuries and additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
So good, so good, so good.
New markdowns up to 70% off are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. And that means thousands of can't-miss deals just in time for summer.
The denim section is unreal.
Why do I rack? All the dresses.
I always find something amazing.
Plus, buy it online and pick it up in-store the same day for free. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
I didn't think the pain from the shingles rash would affect simple, everyday tasks like bathing, getting dressed, or even walking around. I was wrong. Though not everyone at risk will develop it, 99% of people over the age of 50 already have the virus that causes shingles, and it could reactivate at any time. I developed it, and the blistering rash lasted for weeks. Don't learn the hard way, like I did. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today. Sponsored by GSK.
It's time to rewrite the vacation rules. With Royal Caribbean, your family can look forward to just about anything. Break the thrill barrier, roaring down the tallest water slide in North America. Jump into breathtaking jungles and jaw-dropping coves. Vibe off the charts on our private island Perfect Day at Coco Cay. And end the day knowing things are just getting started. Because this isn't just any vacation. This is all the vacations. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
We're shipping Father's Day gifts with a rapid-fire round of questions. Ready?
Yes, my gift. Can you pack it?
Yep.
Ship it?
Yes.
Guarantee it?
Of course.
Oh, send a set of golf clubs.
Oh, hole in one.
Protect electronics? Dog-proof it? Return it if they hate it?
Yes, no, and yeah.
Are you the UPS store?
Hey, we have a winner!
Visit the upsstore.com/guarantee for full details. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Visit a store today.
All right. Next question from Barlock. What is the minimum handicap you'd need to be confident that you could 1v1 a gorilla? I.e., the gorilla has no arms, it's a baby, it's bleeding out, you have a gun, etc. Well, for one thing, those first three, I don't want to fight that gorilla. I don't want to fight a gorilla with no arms. I want to fight a
baby gorilla.
I'm not fighting a baby gorilla because I'm going to get my ass kicked by a baby gorilla, and that's going to be embarrassing.
Or you're just going to be sitting over like a zoo bassinet just fucking wailing on a baby.
It's got a bottle in its mouth and just fucking punch it down its throat.
I don't know, Barlock. I'm a little bummed out that you even offered baby as one of the options in that one.
Or it's bleeding out.
Yeah.
So someone already came in and
Oh yeah. So like when Commodus stabs him at the end of fucking Gladiator.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want any of that.
Like, he's just going to gorilla wheat fields with his gorilla family being carried out from in front of the Roman Senate. That's how I want to take. That's me 1v1ing the gorilla is the same way that Commodus and Maximus fought each other at the end of Gladiator.
Yeah. Even like you have a gun. That's an interesting one because I think that would make a lot of people too confident. Because how good are you at wielding that gun?
Yeah, you'd have to be like some gun kata kind of shit.
Yeah, you better hope that first shot lands where you need it to land because you're not going to hurt that gorilla too bad shooting it in the arm or something.
Yeah. The minimum handicap for me would be no witnesses.
Hell yeah. No media. No media allowed in the ring.
And a bulldozer.
Yep. And another gorilla. Bigger one to fight that bigger, gorilla.
More protective gorilla that will beat that baby right out of the bassinet.
Yeah. I've heard there is a saying when it comes to guns and knives, run from a knife, charge a gun. That makes sense to me because
yeah. Guns aren't really that effective close range.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if even a gun would help versus a gorilla. You might just take it for, what if you got pistol whipped by a gorilla? That'd be so funny.
What if you got shot by a gorilla? That's a twist.
After it pistol whipped you, just fucks up, shoots you in the face one time.
Yeah. The gorilla shot me in the leg with a gun. Like on accident? No. This was his specific gun. It looked like Hellboy's gun, so he can get his fucking fingers in it.
Pulled it from a holster on his ankle.
Yeah. From his garter belt. He had a little derringer in his garter belt. Also, he was dressed like an old Western hooker.
Yeah, it was very sexy.
Yeah.
Lizzie. What's one episode topic that you always wanted to cover but didn't get to?
Baby gorilla fights.
Yep, fighting baby gorillas, 100%. Drunken Donut. What sport would you still watch if the players were all replaced with robots? Football. I've always said football should be replaced by robots.
I think that the most interesting one might be baseball.
Yeah.
Because of all the like calculations and stuff. Like what would it like? Because all the because like in football, obviously it's like the crashing and stuff. It would be like the optimal way to protect brains and stuff. But with baseball, the strategy of it would be very interesting.
But see, I think that's the case with football because football, those plays are so involved. Like, yeah, they involve like a lot of smashing into each other, but also it's a bunch of moving parts. Everyone's got to be in their place. And
yeah, so it's maximum efficiency.
Yeah. And like then any of us could be good at football if it's just a matter of like programming the right plays, but you know, the robots are going to go out there and do it successfully every time.
The laziest answer is fighting. And that seems to be the answer that gets the most play.
Yeah.
Right. When you think about like Real Steel, for example, that they brought up, or like you see robot and like droid fights all the time.
Yeah.
In science fiction media. But like other than that weird rollerball game in Alita Battle Angel, there's not a lot of other robot sports.
Yeah. I like those like battle bots type things where a bunch of fucking MIT nerds get together and build a scary looking robot and put it in with someone else's scary ass robot.
And then a high school that made a wedge takes them out.
Yeah. Wedge with a hacksaw in front of it.
It's a little gun sitting at the edge of a wedge.
Fucking thing just in there destroying people.
A little old timey pistol.
Yeah.
You know, like with the brown handle, black gun.
We made an 800-pound cube that hops in the air and lands on the other robot.
We made a thwomp from Super Mario Brothers. I do. Awesome. Yeah. So our robot has a casing with a bomb, and it just kind of drops it and then wheels away. Oh, so they just bring in one of those bomb disposal robots and just drop the bomb.
That would be very funny.
Yeah, no, I think, BattleBots was always like an interesting. I will say, did you ever? Are you familiar with the Nintendo Entertainment System game Base Wars?
I don't think so.
Because Base Wars was a baseball game where you were robots and you were different kinds. There were like 4 different kinds of robots. There was like the humanoid, the one that had tank treads, one that was on a cycle wheel, and one that was like a hover UFO kind of robot. And it played regular baseball, but if there were ever tag out scenarios, you would have to battle.
Oh, shit.
Or if you were safe or out. And you would like upgrade your characters by like winning battles and winning games. And it's like kind of fucking awesome. Like it's crazy to me that it didn't take off as a game.
Yeah, that does sound pretty fun.
I was obsessed with that game.
I've been lately fucking with a fitness game on the Nintendo Switch called...
Fitness game up my ass.
I think it's called Ring Fit Adventure or something like that. But every once in a while you have to stop and fight these robots, and you do it through exercises. It's very fun.
Fuck yeah, man. Sounds awesome.
It is actually kind of fun. All right, Jim C. What was the last time you tried to cook something and really fucked it up? I know my way around the kitchen. I burned the shit out of a pan sauce not too long ago because I didn't keep my eye on the shallots.
Yeah, I don't... I guess maybe it's like for some reason, I didn't do the heat right on a burger in my kitchen and ended up being kind of like, really firm on the outside and very rare on the inside. And you're like, this is just a bad burger.
Yeah.
People that eat their burgers rare are fucking weirdos to me.
It's not safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Like your burger is 30 cows.
Well, not just that, but there's a reason you can eat rare steak. And it's because the bacteria on beef tends to live on the surface.
Yeah.
So you're cooking it off if you're eating a rare steak because all that bacteria was on the surface. So the inside doesn't have the same bacteria. With ground beef, that bacteria is everywhere. It's not just on the surface. So you shouldn't eat a raw or a rare hamburger. That's insane. My sister used to eat raw hamburger when we were kids. She was just
That's such a Midwestern thing.
It's so gross.
Yeah.
I tried it once. I had a turtle that I would feed raw hamburger, and he was a good boy.
A little freak.
I think he was a boy. I don't know. How the fuck would you know? All right. Hootie Hoo says, what color lightsaber would you have? Pink.
Red.
Red is bad, right?
Yeah.
Or is red good?
Red's bad.
Yeah. I'd have I want yellow. Yellow's my favorite color.
Or like Ray.
Yeah.
Or Kyle Katarn.
Just like Kyle Katarn. All right. Jim C. again. Throwback question. Who would win a boxing match between Danger Van Gorder and Adam? Isn't Danger like trained in...
He has trained in the mixed martial arts, I believe.
Yeah, I have not. So probably Danger. I mean, unless it turns into an, I don't know karate, but I know crazy kind of situation.
Yeah, I got a black belt in baseball bats.
Yeah, hit him in the kneecap with a lead pipe or something. Then let's fucking talk. But if it's just like straight boxing with no cheating, probably Danger. He's in better shape. He's younger. So yeah.
He's got ambition.
Yeah. He's a politician. I'd get in trouble if I hit him. It's a crime. All right, Chris Murphy. If you could eat any animal that is not part of American diets, meaning you can pick one that may be part of the diet of another culture, what animal are you eating? Secondly, how are you having it prepared? I bet me and Jeff have the same answer. I'm going those horse meatballs at IKEA.
Close. Horse burger. Pretty much the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've heard horse is delicious. And if that rumor is true that there is horse in the IKEA meatballs, I don't give a single solitary fuck. I will still eat them.
If you don't care about cows, I'm not going to care about horses.
Yeah. And those meatballs are so good with the lingonberry sauce. Come on. Come on.
Potato scenario. Yeah, I got you.
Hada Verde, what is your favorite novel? Favorite nonfiction book?
Ooh, that's tough. I probably have a couple. I guess I have an East of Eden tattoo, so East of Eden would have to be.
Yeah.
That. I would say I also love, as far as novel, The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay by Michael Chabon, or Chabon, however you want to say it. Those are, I really like I like Steinbeck. So like a lot of his stuff is novellas. So I don't know if you count, you wouldn't count Of Mice and Men as a novel.
Yeah. I really liked The Bell Jar when I read it, the Sylvia Plath book. I also have always had a soft spot for Stephen King. And I think Stephen King's best series of books is The Dark Tower. Boy, they fucked that movie up. But the book series is really fucking interesting. And
a lot
really
of lore in that, right?
Huh?
That's his like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. There's, I think, 8 Dark Tower books.
Nice.
And they all like kind of intermingle the other universes from his other stories. It's really interesting.
Did you watch Castle Rock?
I did not.
I think you would really like Castle Rock. Castle Rock is a Stephen King universe series that's quite good.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. Nonfiction book. I don't know. Here's one thing that you might want to know. I fucking hate history books because for the longest time, that's what people gave me as gifts.
Oh, it makes sense.
They'd be like, here's an assignment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is my job. Why are you giving me my job? I get why people did it. I just hated it. I'd say the most recent nonfiction book that I got was Good Game, No Rematch by Mike Drucker, which is about basically a guy who basically has a life basically grown of being sort of a video game millennial born to a family that, like a lot of people my age, where it's like the first video game generation kids and like how parents had no idea how to relate to that kind of an entertainment.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to it. I went to a reading and there was a chapter that was really good.
For me, nonfiction books.
Oh, Juiced.
Oh yeah, Juiced. Yeah. See, I like a biography or an autobiography a whole lot. Steve Earle, there is a book about him called Hardcore Troubadour that is one of the more entertaining music biographies out there. Steve Earle lived a crazy fucking life. He went to prison for doing drugs. That's how goddamn out of control. Like, who goes to prison for doing drugs? Steve Earle.
Cool people.
This is kind of a spoiler for the music pod, but I just, for work reasons, read a book about John Mellencamp called Mellencamp by a writer named Paul Rees. Very good book. Very good. John Mellencamp is such a goddamn character. One of my favorite fucking people, especially after reading that book. So yeah, I like biographies. I tend to prefer those. But also there was a book a few years back called Automate This, How Algorithms Came to Rule the World. And I recommend that to people all the time because there is a certain segment of the population that believes an algorithm is just like this flawless thing that never fails and never breaks. And read this book if you believe that. It's a very short read. It's about how, in part, at least one of the things it's about is how an algorithm glitched out and caused like a stock market crash. Like, they fuck up all the time.
I will add 2 more that I think are definitely good for people that have younger people in their lives as well. One of them is called Branded, and it is about how businesses shift brand and chase young money, like teenage money.
Yeah.
And like, it really does sort of, pierce the veil and sort of remove the film of how marketing to kids is done. And it's very good, especially if you have young people in your life, so that you can help them to sort of understand like when they're being quite literally sold a bill of goods.
Yeah.
When they're basically being ripped off. And then the other one I had, which was more spiritual, but I kept it in my classroom because it was really good. And it was basically a way, it was called Buddha in My Backpack. And it was basically just a really interesting like way for kids to understand concepts of Buddhism without trying to convert them in any way.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, we're not recruiting, but here's some interesting stuff to help you understand, how to make your life less stress-free and stuff. And it was really worded well towards young adults.
Nice. Sounds like the name of a Jason Mraz album or something.
It's I felt embarrassed reading it in public.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly for like teenagers, but I was reading it, if I was going to put a book in my classroom, I had to read it first, obviously.
What? Why? Doesn't make
so I don't have the lone wolf and cub incident that I had that one time where I let a kid read a classic manga and like he's like, oh, I don't think I'm supposed to have this, and there was just like straight up titty scene in there, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. He's like, it's fine.
Yeah, titties.
Yeah.
All right, Laurasaurus. Adam, when you lived in Peoria, how many times would you estimate a white person told you, quote, They emptied out Cabrini Green and just dropped all the people out here, end quote, to explain a local crime. Jeff, is there an equivalent racist urban legend idiots cling to in Massachusetts? Well, for my half of that, I will say I literally never heard anyone say this. And I looked it up, and it would be because Cabrini Green was shut down in 1995. I moved out of Illinois in 1996. And so if people were saying this, I mean,
you missed that racism boat.
Well, not just that, but Peoria was kind of a crime-ridden nightmare well before 1995. Like the idea that Peoria got a gang problem because Cabrini Green got shut down. No. Peoria had a gang problem since I was in like 7th or 8th grade. Like it happened kind of everywhere once crack started becoming a thing. If you lived in a big enough town, then gang violence became a thing. That was sort of the point of the government selling crack in inner city neighborhoods, you see. So yeah, Peoria was already kind of fucking wild by 1995. Very, like, for a long time. Jeff, how about you?
There used to be, as far as like a racist urban legend, I would say from where I was, the one that I used to hear that was the kind of stupidest was they would say, over at the airports in Puerto Rico, they have a sign that says, go to Southbridge, Mass. And that's where your people will be. And that's why there's so many Puerto Ricans there. And I was like, even as a kid, I was like, that is not at all how that would work. They wouldn't just decide to leave Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory, to move out and be like, where am I going to go? Like, that didn't make any sense. When they would say that, I'm like, what? They're not flying in the 60s playing airport roulette. Like, that's not how this works.
Yeah. Yeah. And that people are dumb. People are so fucking dumb.
People, who would have thought racists were dumb?
Yeah. Norm from Cheers. Adam,
Norm.
who's your favorite co-host and why is it Jeff May? I mean, it is Jeff May. Me and Jeff's my best friend. Why wouldn't he be my favorite co-host? Jeff, where can I find your Patreon?
Patreon.com/JeffMay, EFFMAY, for early access to uncensored episodes with bonus content as well as exclusives. And you can get access to cards in the mail, blah, 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 blah.
I think that's all a lie. Hootie Hoo says, what's the coolest animal you ever saw in the wild? And or your best wild animal interaction, like seeing a moose or a bird landing on your shoulder. I tell you this, if a moose landed on my shoulder, I would have some fucking stories to tell. Yeah. I went to Costa Rica and we went on a rainforest tour and I just randomly saw monkeys fucking around in the trees. And that was fun because you're just walking and all of a sudden you hear a rustling and you're like, what's that? And it's actual monkeys just swinging to and fro in their everyday life, just frolicking it the fuck up.
Going to work.
It was great.
With their little briefcases and their little suits.
Yeah.
Going to monkey work. They were going to monkey business.
As far as best interaction, I think I told this story on the pod, but it happened very recently. My cat's cat food is a subscription thing, and it got delivered one day, and we didn't go out and get the package right away, and I just forgot about it. And later that night, I heard a rustling around on the porch, and I went and looked, and there was a raccoon trying to drag this like 20-pound bag of cat food in its box away, and it was the most adorable fucking thing I've ever seen.
Oh man, the heist of the century.
Yeah. And we scared it off, and then you could see on our doorbell camera that it came back at like 2 a.m. to see if maybe we still left the food out there. It was so cute.
Did you guys leave any? Yeah. Maybe a little bit outside for me?
We did not, because that motherfucker would have never stopped coming back.
I mean, is that so bad though?
Yeah, probably not.
Coolest animal, I guess, I always enjoy when you're like at the beach and you see dolphins.
Yeah.
It's always like, I can't not point, I can't not be the Leo meme pointing when I see a dolphin and when I'm at the beach. I always think that's really interesting.
That's cool as shit.
I mean, you'd see a lot of white-tailed deer where I'm from.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like if it's fawning season, you're just like, these motherfuckers. You have to be like extra careful. So like in that regard, I don't think I have crazy. I remember I saw like an endangered owl one time on my way to school. That was kind of neat.
That's neat.
Like
owls are assholes, but that's still neat. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're predators. Predators are all assholes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show me like a chill predator.
Man. How about that?
They're not chill. They are predators, though, if you know what I mean.
I found a kid who swings a golf club like a dream. I'd like to try to qualify him for the U.S. Amateurs.
Coming to Apple TV Plus.
What's your name?
I'm not into older guys, but I'm flattered.
A new comedy series, Stick.
I don't want to go on this trip. Your mouth's saying one thing, but those eyes are saying something else.
From the home of Ted Lasso.
This is your shot at redemption? This is your mulligan?
Owen Wilson.
This game takes and it takes. The game's finally giving me something back.
Stick.
You know Arnold Palmer?
Iced tea, lemonade, mix it.
I'm missing a nap for this.
Streaming June 4th on Apple TV Plus.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for this day.
McCrispy strips are now at McDonald's. I hope you're ready for the most dippable chicken in McDonald's history. Dip it in all the sauces. Dip it in that hot sauce in your bag. Dip it in your McFlurry. Your dip is your business. McCrispy strips at McDonald's.
Are your business expenses playing hide and seek? With Uber for Business, the small spends that slip through the cracks, like rides and meals, go right where you need them. Because it integrates with leading expense platforms, you can say goodbye to surprise costs, missing dollars, or chasing receipts. Everything's track downable. Uber for Business. Make small steps that make a big impact. Learn more at uber.com/small steps.
Tulip City Dispatch. Do you keep up with your former crack coworkers after that whole kerfuffle? Or have you completely severed ties, unlike parasocial weirdos like myself? I don't know. It depends on who you're asking about. Halcyon Salad. What did you not even like about You Don't Even Like This Show? Also, what's the fastest you've ever driven a vehicle? Was it fun?
It's the same question.
Yeah. Same question twice in a row. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
it's not that I don't like You Don't Even Like This Show. I just feel like it's like there's no, I don't know. Like there's no direction to it. It's like kind of all over the place. I need more structure because I'm that way. That's how I'm fucking wired. If I don't have like structure and a schedule, my whole goddamn life will start to spiral. And so I just feel like it'll be a better show if I put some rules in place. That's all.
Yeah. I didn't like that you were on it.
Yeah. I hate having to do it with Jeff too. That part sucks. Fastest you've ever I'm not a car guy. I'm not a let's go fast guy. So I don't think I even have an example along these lines.
I had a rental BMW that I opened up pretty hard on the highway once, and I think I got it to like 112 or something like that.
Is that the one that you let me use for a little while too?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
I felt like
that was a pretty great car, right?
I felt like an asshole tooling around LA in a white BMW.
It was great, right?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I get why they drive like assholes, because when I was down there, I was like, you can barely even feel how fast you're going.
Yeah.
Faster you're going feels like coming.
Ooh, hooty hoo, killing it with the questions. Fuck, marry, kill, alcohol, tobacco, firearms. Fun fact, alcohol, tobacco, firearms was going to be the original name of Unpopular Opinion. Kind of glad I didn't go with that, though. It would have gotten to be a more controversial name as the years went on. You go first. This is interesting for you.
I would fuck tobacco. I would marry firearms, and I would kill alcohol.
I'm almost with you. I would kill tobacco, fuck alcohol, and marry firearms. Because like tobacco, you do that. I mean, they're both going to kill you if you marry either one. But like tobacco's going to be less fun. So like tobacco, eventually it's just an addiction that you get no enjoyment from. Whereas if you're just, fucking alcohol every once in a while, that's how you're supposed to do alcohol.
I guess I just don't like alcohol, but I've been known in my worst days to enjoy a cigar.
Ooh.
So, I know.
Yeah, but firearms, of course, I'm going to marry firearms.
Keep one under my pillow for when you know who starts coming and knocking.
Right.
Because I accidentally said that I didn't like the new law about, you have to punch a Chinese person when you walk past them or something.
Yeah. You're accused of harboring terrorists because you were on a bus with a Muslim person and didn't tell. Rodney, if you had to pick one of the major religions to be real, which one would you pick?
All of them at the same time.
That was actually going to be my answer, is all of them. But also, what do you mean by real? Because they are real. Whether you believe it or not is one thing, but they exist,
Yeah. And the answer is Greek mythology.
Yeah. Scientology for me. Favorite form of pasta? That's what Mike Scorpio wants to know.
That has two potential answers, right? Because that would be like favorite form of noodle or favorite pasta dish.
And see, I thought we're just talking like pasta shape, in which case it's dependent on what kind of sauce you're eating.
If you're doing like a shells and cheese.
Then you want shells.
Yeah.
But like an arrabbiata, I think lends itself best to a penne. That's why you see penne arrabbiata in the restaurantas.
Or a penne al vodka.
Yeah. A vodka sauce is my favorite.
I'm not a big fan of the penne, though. And so we're not talking about any form of like a stuffing base. So like I would say like maybe your raviolis, your tortellinis, your manicottis, those got to kind of be out, right? Because now you're adding
I don't know.
Cheese, ricotta, and all that.
I like ravioli also, but I really fuck with a tortellini.
Oh, I love those things.
Yeah.
Like I love a stuffed shell. You ever have a good stuffed shell? Just a lot of cheese and a little bit of noodles.
Yeah.
My mom thought those were healthy. It was back in the day. She's like, there's very little fat in this.
Well, that is true.
You're lying. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, like, if you're talking like what shape do you want your macaroni and cheese in? Probably shells. I prefer shells and cheese.
See, I don't. And here's why. I just figured this out because I've been experimenting with a new brand of mac and cheese. I've been a Kraft guy forever, but I've been fucking with Annie's lately. Way
Annie's
better.
makes a good one, yeah.
Significantly better. But here's what I noticed about shells and cheese versus macaroni and cheese. The shells, after you cook it, even when you drain the water, those shells retain some of that water. And so it ends up being not as like thick and cheesy as I prefer. It's a little more soupy and runny, and I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that, Jeff. I don't fuck with it.
And you melt the butter in there to make it mix around and everything like that. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, Annie's has really specific instructions for that, and you got to fucking follow them. You can't do it like the Kraft mac and cheese. It won't work.
Do you ever go like, because we used to, my mom would always put like the fucking butter in there and like the mac, and then like you go to someone's house and they didn't do that, and you're like, this is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
This is how you guys make this? You animals?
Yeah. It's some people just can't cook. I think I've told you before, I knew a woman who made scalloped potatoes, and by that she meant she poured milk in them and baked them. Yeah. It was like horror movie shit. Bob Grenville, what's your favorite cheese for sandwiches? Oh, people are going to hate this, but I love an American cheese.
I'll go with dill Havarti.
Jesus Christ. That's your favorite cheese for a sandwich?
Do you ever have a fucking turkey sandwich with dill Havarti on it? If you haven't, you should go straight to hell. Actually, you should go to the store, get some dill Havarti, make a turkey sandwich.
I don't know if I've ever even seen dill Havarti.
Adam, it's fucking incredible.
On every sandwich.
I mean, probably not like a peanut butter and jelly.
I don't know.
I mean, I would go, I guess, if you want to just go a straight Havarti, that would be fine. But I think the dill, I can't think of a sandwich where the dill would make it worse.
See, I'm not a big dill guy. I don't like pickles. Like, I like pickles on a burger.
Well, I'm kind of a big dill, Adam, so.
Oh, God damn it.
Fuck you.
Public hangings. What a fucking name. What was your favorite thing you learned while doing the show? Could be a fact/subject or something you discovered about yourself. Whatever feels right.
I know who my enemies are.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Name them.
That fucking guy that came on to talk about a shitty movie and got mad that we were doing our show about it, about a thing that wasn't his movie.
Yeah, that guy sucked.
Yeah. And also a tiff.
Oh, sure. Because
no reason, just
the condiments thing.
No, I respected that.
My favorite thing I learned while doing this show, I don't know. It's more the conspiracy pod is where I learn shit when I'm doing research.
I'll say that this is where I will say I learned
how to be a man.
Interviewing structure. If you want to talk about this being like unpops as well, like I think I really molded my interviewing on here.
Well, I regret that.
I regret it too.
If I knew that was going to happen, I would have never fucking...
If only I had not learned how to do that, maybe I'd be happy somewhere in the Midwest.
It's a prison of our own making.
Working at a fucking tire barn, going home, not worrying.
Yeah. No one. Yeah. No, man. Jim C., when was the last time you were on a boat? When was the last time you sat on a horse or other hoofed mammal?
Jeez, I don't even realize how long it's been since I've been on a boat.
A boat not that long ago.
Yeah, because you were just in the Caribbean.
Well, no, I was in, when I was in Costa Rica, we were on a boat. And also we went to San Francisco, I think last year, and we went to Alcatraz. And that boat ride is no fucking joke. Oof. Sit inside. There's nothing to see. I don't know if I've ever sat on a horse. I don't think so.
I haven't sat on a horse in probably a decade.
Yeah.
But boat, God, I don't even remember. I mean, there must have been something, but probably like when I was home at my mom's. She lives on the water, so
yeah,
not like the sea. She lives on a reservoir.
She lives on a houseboat. She's a disgraced detective.
She lives on a houseboat. That is the name. You Live on a Houseboat is the name of an anal cunt song. You live on a houseboat.
I just always think of a divorced fucking cop when you think of someone living on a houseboat.
Yeah. Or Keanu Reeves in The Replacements.
Yeah. I bet a houseboat's nice. Let's buy one. Gobu Killer. What's your favorite dinosaur?
I don't know any of them. I've never met one.
Yeah.
So no answer.
I honestly don't have a favorite dinosaur. I would just have to make something up right now. And I respect you too much for that, Gobu Killer.
Yeah. And then I'll probably say something that somebody would be, I'd be like, I actually really like a brontosaurus. And then somebody would be like, well, actually, the brontosaurus never actually existed. It's a diplodocus or whatever. And then I'd be like, I don't have room for this in my life.
I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Bix Phalanges. What is the weirdest accident you've been in or injury you've sustained that you'd never dreamed could happen in your line of work? So does this mean a work-based?
Yeah, an accident or an injury that you've sustained doing your job that you couldn't have possibly expected.
I don't know that I've ever been injured doing this job, but I did fall and bruise my tailbone a couple years ago, and boy, did it make doing this job a fucking adventure. And I tweeted about it, and some asshole replied and was like, are you seriously complaining about sitting on your ass all day? It's like, fuck you.
I hope that person, if you're listening, I hope you're dead.
Yeah. I hope your tailbone is bruised and you're sitting in a chair for fucking 8 hours.
Yeah. Injuries doing work. I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't really think of anything. I mean, I'd have like breaking up a fight when I was a teacher and a kid would end up hitting you.
Yeah.
But that's whatever.
In it would have been early 30s, took a job delivering papers, like newspapers, mostly for the exercise. And I ended up falling and breaking both of my arms at the same time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, there you go.
So that's
your answer.
But as luck would have it, when I fell, I was in front of the home of a newspaper employee. So they immediately just like gave me money to fucking not raise a stink. It's very weird.
It is
Sweet
weird.
Keel. We only got 3 questions left. What is the most underrated condiment or sandwich topping?
I'm going to say something very controversial.
Is it Dill Havarti?
No, baby.
Oh.
It's mayonnaise. Because the PR for mayonnaise is so bad on the internet.
It is.
And mayonnaise is a fucking miracle.
Yeah, I mean, you need mayonnaise, if nothing else, to moisten things up.
Yeah, but even then, like, mayonnaise mixed with ketchup is great.
You're losing me.
You don't have a Whopper? You don't get...
No.
You don't like that?
I don't do mayonnaise on burgers. I'll do mayonnaise on like a chicken sandwich.
I like mayonnaise and mustard mixed together on like a turkey sandwich or something like that from like a plate. Like, it cuts really well with other condiments. And also, like, I was originally going to name like, some aioli. And then I'm like, that's also mayonnaise.
Yeah. Yeah. Aioli's just fucking mayonnaise.
Aioli's just designer mayonnaise.
Yeah.
So yeah, mayonnaise only because like everybody shits on it, but I think they just shit on it mostly because it's popular to shit on it.
Yeah, for the same reason people shit on drinking milk. Like, it's just fun to do on the internet.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, mayonnaise, like white people. And white people is also, it's a funny thing to make fun of on the internet. So they call white people Mayo Americans. So it's also like one of those things where you're like, oh, so now I can get double bonus internet points.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you're eating a chicken sandwich with just chicken in a bun, you're a fucking weirdo. You're a strange person. Don't do that.
I think mayonnaise is criminally underrated because it does a lot of heavy lifting and people are just like, fuck mayonnaise.
I would say an underrated sandwich topping. Maybe this isn't underrated, but I would go jalapenos. I think they add...
Pickled or fresh?
Pickled.
Okay, thank you.
Because I think they are the best at adding heat without overpowering the flavor. And, well, also, though, a banana pepper. The banana pepper, jalapeno peppers.
Hot pepper is a good, yeah.
Yeah. Those are both... Those don't show up enough in sandwiches.
We have what we used to call it in New England, and I'm sure it's everywhere, is hots, but like a hot pepper relish.
Oh, pepper relish. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I would say that like there was this Blue Jeans Pizza in Worcester has this cold veggie sandwich that you could get.
Uh-huh.
And if you got it with your spread, and another spread that I would say is underrated is hummus.
Oh, sure.
But you get hummus and hots, and it was like a spicy, rich flavor that would mix really well with the crunchy vegetables. It was really good.
I would also add pesto. If you're eating like an Italian sandwich, you throw a little smear of pesto on there, you're not going to be mad. You're not going to be mad whatsoever. Very tasty.
Yeah.
El Celdo, do you ever get haunted by some of the stupid things we write in with? Like they just pop up into your head randomly? Nope.
Not later on, but there are sometimes people will ask questions where you'll see like an overextension of the parasocial relationship. And it's a little jarring when you're like, you know a little too much about me. But also I volunteered all this information, I think.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, I looked up your parents. And then you're like, I don't like that at all.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like questions like this, we've had a couple of listeners that I had to be like, hey, are you going to kill someone? Should we like notify the authorities before you come to our show? But beyond that, no, nothing really.
No, it's fine. Yeah. You guys, ask what you want. We'll let it wash off.
Yeah, we'll answer, or maybe we won't. You never know. All right, Donna coming in as the closer. Fucking Enter Sandman is playing. Donna's running
Mariano
into the bullpen.
Donfera.
Yeah. If you could make one thing disappear from the world one time, what would the funniest thing be and when? I would make social media disappear anytime. That would just be funny to watch. I don't know where I would watch it because there'd be no social media, but I'd go to the mall or something and watch people lose their shit.
So the funniest thing would be anybody that owns a MAGA hat, not anybody who believes in MAGA, but anybody that owns the hat, because eventually people would discover why these people disappeared. And then they'd have to be like freaking the fuck out for the rest of their lives about like what not to do or wear. So they wouldn't get like blipped out of the world,
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun.
Which, I mean, if and I'm sorry to all the sketch comedians that we'd lose.
Yeah.
But would I be?
Yeah.
You just see fucking Tom Brady get blipped out in the middle of a fucking Sunday football game.
That'd be very funny.
Yeah. But then like the aftermath would be so funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Also, we would lose our infrastructure almost immediately.
Yeah, it's fine.
We'd lose so many electricians.
What do we need infrastructure for?
Yeah, right. Like I think like, what the world needs more? Liberal arts majors.
Yeah. We finally stop paying taxes if we stop worrying about this fucking infrastructure, Let it crumble.
Ooh, it's a very New Hampshire way of thinking.
So that was our last question. And I think that is our episode. Stay tuned for part 2 of our final 100th episode coming to you next week. Might be a clip show, might be something else. I don't know. We'll see. But
we got there. Get off our asses.
Yeah. We'll fucking figure it out. God damn.
We'll do what we want when we want.
And you'll like it. And hey, thank you for listening. We appreciate it. What do we have to plug before we get out of here? There are new seasons of You Don't Even Like Sports and You Don't Even Like This Band underway as we speak. Shohei Ohtani season of You Don't Even Like Sports. And here's the thing, free to the public. It's already out there. Just go wherever podcasts are at. The first Shohei Ohtani season episode is up. On the You Don't Even Like This Band side of things, we are doing a 4-part episode about Queens of the Stone Age. And then
whose idea was that?
Exactly. Yeah. That is a Travis Clark-led production. I don't know if people know how much he likes Queens of the Stone Age, but it's quite a bit. And after that, we are smoothly transitioning right into a season about John Mellencamp. So that's what I want you to listen to. You don't even like sports and you don't even like this band, motherfuckers. Jeff, what do you want to plug?
I plugged the Patreon already.
You sure did.
So that Tom and Jeff watch Batman on Gamefully Unemployed, Mint on Card, second Friday every month, Blast from Past, Magnolia, Burbank, California. Bye.
Bye.